Okay.
what they expect. I read through it. I don't remember it all. Basically, we're supposed to be the best of the best. When you get your masterhood, you're the best in whatever field you've got it in. Then you've been elevated one more step. So that means we need to be showing Joe Snuffy, who steps out the first day, that we are the cream of the crop. How we do that, I don't know.
Isn't that what we're talking about right now? How do we do that?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
How do we accomplish that?
So I can see that kind of spiraling out of control, like pretty quickly. Like, for instance, I have personal opinions. 9 times out of 10, at least when they're controversial, I keep them to myself because I don't feel like arguing with people. But if my personal opinion about X, Y, or Z slips, and that's considered, what is the word that we use in our code of conduct? Hostile or toxic. Like, if that comes off as toxic or whatever, then, COC 2.0 17.65 subsection D, we're going to pull your belt. I'd be okay with that, probably, but still, there are people here who care a lot more about it than I do, and they might lose their shit over that sort of thing, especially when it comes to something as simple as, I don't like this park because there's this thing over there and everybody else disagrees with me. So now I'm suddenly being hostile towards everybody I disagree with. No, I'm not, but again, we're putting power in the hands of people that generally are not worthy.
So that power is actually already out there. The rules of play have the code of conduct is the rules of play, which we have to abide by. And yeah, there's several of those that they're being executed on based on local populace, whether it's the park level or kingdom level, differently. They're always being handled like the same. But that's the rules we play by.
Right.
I get what you're saying, though. Does this Ninth Circle want to ratify something that would make, essentially, a code of conduct violation doesn't institute a belt stripping at all. There's nothing in the rules of conduct that says that it has to happen. That's on the Circle of Knights.
I think that's what this Iron Mountains thing is getting at, though, is that there's an additional code of conduct on top of the base 6 that is specifically for knights. That way, there is something codified, ratified, that says, if you do this, this, or this, then we are justified in pulling your belt. An example I would imagine is in there, if you get caught stealing from the game, then you probably don't deserve to be a knight. That's a reasonable thing, so you should have your belt stripped.
But that's always been the case.
It has, but now it's being written down, and that changes the equation.
I think the CO system is more than enough to govern excess behavior on the part of knights.
I agree.
I think if you have systemic behavior, not one mistake, systemic behavior, that should be addressed. Everybody here makes mistakes.
Basically, if you set a pattern of misbehavior.
And we all worked a long time to get here, so one mistake should not invalidate 10 years worth of work.
And when we say pattern, what we really need to see is behaviors done. People are reprimanded, counseled, told not to do it. They do it again. Now there's a more severe punishment. They get 3-6 months time out. They continue to do it. That's when whatever happens because they're just not playing like the rest of the team. Because pulling a belt's a nuclear option. We don't need to do that.
Everybody deserves a second chance.
Yeah. Now, obviously, that's not true. Sometimes. If somebody stabs somebody at an event, all right. There's no way to go through. There's no reason to go through.
But that's just common sense, right? I don't need the Iron Mountains to tell me that that's bad.
You're done.
But two people get into an argument, and create a hostile environment for each other or other people around, then that's like, hey man, this is your warning.
Is there a mentoring or coaching system within the Circle of Knights here?
Not officially.
When it comes to that?
Not once you're a knight. You got squires. but
Okay,
once you
so it's
once
only
you are a
downward.
knight, no.
Right. So I think like you're getting at is more the accountability of knights, correct?
Yeah, the body as a whole, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if behavior is inappropriate, then they reprimand or censure. If not, then they recommend to the monarch for suspension. And if it just keeps going, then that's when you.
Some incidents automatically end up being propagated up to the monarch for action. For instance, with Sable and Margot at Midrain, there were a couple incidents that were reported that were questionably COC violations. I got with them. Well, first I posted those in the Night Circle for discussion there, because again, Margot was spearheading a Night Circle. I don't know if you want to call it a kumbaya, but coming around to like hold people accountable to behaviors. And then I met with them, with several people. I think I posted about this, and we talked it through. And I did speak with them. I did counsel them on that. Right? It doesn't matter what station you have in this game, how much money you make outside of this game, what your influence is, who your friends are, what company you fight for. You're expected to behave in a certain way. And I, as Monarch, am going to hold all of you accountable for that. I don't care who you are. I'm me. Okay. I don't have any affiliation to anybody in this group other than we play Amphard occasionally on the games, right? There are some rules that I have to follow. So I do believe we need some sort of coaching system here in this body, because if it is all just straight downward, there are times when we lose our cool, right? And you guys were talking about a new generation coming in, and they look at Knights a lot differently than we looked at Knights back in the 90s. Okay, it's completely different. This generation now, it's not. I mean, ditching's disappearing. It's to use the term flurbiness. There's a lot more flurbiness in the game than has probably ever been, I think. And those are the people that are looking at us now. So when we have these crazy outbursts on the battlefield, if we're slugging somebody, or we're doing things on face guard that are totally unbecoming, they're seeing that. And there's people who don't even care to become Knights anymore because of it. And that's a huge detriment to this game. That's a huge There are people leaving this game now because of the behavior of Knights, when they're supposed to be looking at Knights and saying, I want to be that person. But that's not what's going on.
That's never what.
Right. But as adults, we should be able to keep ourselves in check. And as Knights of this kingdom alone, we should be able to keep ourselves in check with what we're doing and how we are perceived by the greater populace, not only of our kingdom, but of other kingdoms. Does that, any comments on that?
I think these new kingdoms lack historical precedent.
I agree.
Right? They're very young and they're super idealistic. And you're right, they view knighthood differently than I do. And view knights, like, I'm an Amphard knight. I am not a chivalrous knight from the storybooks. I feel they put us on too high a pedestal. No one here is perfect.
10 years ago, in a Night Circle meeting, this same sort of thing was brought up because of somebody's behavior. And they were feeling that somebody was just not doing things and becoming enough. And Theo, I wish you were here, made an excellent point for everybody to consider. If this is a role-playing game, everybody has their own version of what a knight is and was and how they operate.
I'll jump on you right there. He was at the last meeting. He said the exact same thing.
Yeah,
it hasn't changed at all.
Exactly.
He's busy at the WWE thing today, otherwise he'd be here. I've already spoken to him.
Speaking, Knights were thugs.
That's true. You're right. The
Historically
role-play
speaking,
aspect
Knights
of
were
knighthood
thugs.
as the award in this game is one thing or other. Everybody is its own thing. At the same time, though, we have rules that we have to follow. The game has changed a lot since 10 years ago. The rules that were in place back then are gone. They don't even exist anymore.
Here's something that does still exist. Assault is still assault. Correct?
So assault and drugs of the past are not something that this game, per rules, actually goes back and retroactively does.
That's great. But how many knights here have seen other knights recently
I see a bunch of them right now.
throwing grapes or other objects at other Amphard members?
Sure.
Throwing things that somebody is assaulting. So
Are we going to jump on grape throwing as assault? I mean, that is a history thing. I heard Theo tell me the entire history behind why an Iowa throws grapes, and I think it's hilarious.
I never.
I understand the new people not wanting to partake in that. And you know what? So let me just jump to the end of that particular history lesson. It was that they were fed in a barn at one feast.
Many.
And they decided, and many after that, and going on. And they decided that they would act like animals if they were going to be treated like animals. And I thought that was hilarious. That was the funny part too. He said to me, if we were ever inside of a building that was an actual building and having a feast, they wouldn't throw grapes. So you know what I did? I paid the money and put us in a fucking building for this last mid-rain, and it was amazing. We had a great mid-rain. Okay? No grapes were thrown. They're coming up with a new tradition now, booing their own members who are getting awards, which is fine. Whatever. Okay?
I'll go into the grapes.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's a prime situation of somebody thinks they're having fun, right? They throw some grapes. Maybe they hit their friends, maybe they hit some other people. Somebody like stands up and says, hey guys, I don't appreciate this, stop it. Then they need to stop.
That absolutely does need to happen. If
there needs
somebody
to be
comes
somebody
and reprimands
saying,
them and says, hey, it needs to stop, for sure. My wife was beamed in the back of the head twice at Spring War. She did not like it. She got up and told them that, knock it off, essentially. She was not happy at all. We got people bringing dogs out. Grapes are poisonous to dogs. There's that worry as well. They were going to switch to marshmallows. Okay? But I decided to put us in a building so we didn't have to face that on this bit. It's going to be a slow change. Old traditions are typically hard to break.
And for my part, when I was king, it used to drive me batshit crazy because my whole crew was throwing shit.
I've seen you go off on them before.
And I've gone off on them before because I always thought that it was unkind to allow artillery around unsuspecting innocent bystanders.
If it's between agreeing people, yeah, for sure.
But that's an illustration. That's a very gentle illustration of why sense and sensibility have to be applied consistently to